Hello, everyone. We're back with Ken Dombrowski, executive life coach and master hypnotist. And today we're actually going to talk about a topic I don't think we've really ever addressed before, and that's the devastating effects of self-isolation. What does that look like?
Oh, wow. This is really heartbreaking when we get folks in the office, and they're usually going to be people a little bit older. I'm in my late 50s, but people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and they're going to be living alone. And it could be they got a divorce, 20 years ago and just never remarried or never had any other relationships. Many people that have never been married and never had children. They just made it to this age, and you ask them, how did this happen? How did you not ever get married or have children? Or, they say, got close once or twice, but then, just kind of stopped looking. Well, because it's easier. It's easier to be self-isolated than to put yourself out there again and try for love and romance, a relationship, because that can be painful if it ends. If you get dumped, it can be devastating. So these people, they make this conscious and subconscious choice, together, to where they're going to self-isolate. Now, these folks are most of the time they're going to come to us for what reason?
To quit smoking.
Quit smoking. That's the number one reason we're going to get an isolated person who either works from home or they just sit at home because they don't have a job. They don't need a job. Maybe they got an inheritance years ago, or some kind of thing, or they retired young, and now they don't need to work. So they're sitting at home for years and years, or even decades. I've had people they just sit at home for 30 years. They don't have a job. They don't have relationships. So we talk about this all the time. The two things we really want in this life for a successful life are meaning and purpose. The two ways to get those, the two top ways, are productivity and relationships. So if you're isolated, that means you're living alone and you probably don't have any friends or family around you. So there's no relationships. And you're also not productive because you're at home just watching TV every day, not going out of the house and doing something productive. So what this does is it starts to drain these people, so sadly, of their life force, their energy, their spirit energy is just getting wiped out because of the loneliness. Loneliness is devastating, but it also feels like the safest way to go for survival in the subconscious mind because, no one can hurt me then. No one, if I don't let anyone in my life, they can't hurt me. So we have a real difficulty, and this is one of my most challenging type of client to help, is if they don't have any relationships in their life and nothing with meaning and nothing with purpose, what can I hinge to? I have to have something to anchor what our work is. Well, if you're 69 years old, well, what kind of goals do you have? Are you going to start? Not likely to start a business or get a new job. So they really don't have much going for them to where we can say, okay, well, at least if you have a good relationship. Oh, okay, well, for this relationship, you can elevate yourself using that good feeling. If they have none of that. So again, we go back to the smoking. Well, they want to give up the one relationship they do have. That cigarette is their best friend every day, all day long, smoking a pack or 2 packs a day. So that becomes their meaning and purpose, so to speak. And it's short-lived. As soon as that cigarette's gone, the meaning and purpose of that cigarette is gone. So they have to go ahead and light up another one. So I guess you could say in a way they're being productive because they're lighting another cigarette. And it's definitely a relationship. So it becomes extremely complex and complicated and difficult and challenging to help that person get out of their fears, get out of their anxiety, and get out of their depressions. It's really very hard to watch, hard to see.
Also, without trying to sound like a bad person, these people are usually overweight because they have a relationship with food as well. The two main things they're looking for is help with overeating or help quitting smoking, because they have chosen to lack participation in their own life for so long that, where do you even reintroduce that now? You know what I mean? They've kind of checked out. So the idea of building a meaningful relationship with another human or a job or anything is just kind of lost. I think you lose the ability to even figure out how to start because you never really did. If you can make it to your 70s and say, I don't have kids, I've never been married, anything like that, at one point, a subconscious decision was made to no longer participate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, really the sad part. Like you said, when there's really nothing to anchor anything to, there's really no way to help somebody either. You have to choose to feel purpose in something.
Mm-hmm. Well, and when we're trying to nurture something, then, okay, well, this person wants to do this. I had one woman years ago who wanted to move to another country, a country of her national origin. And so, okay, well, great. She said she'd visited there several times and she loved it there. Beautiful place, beautiful country. People were warm and loving. She felt very at home. So, okay, great. Let's get you into a position to where you can move there and finish out your life there. She was in her mid to late 60s. Well, we went on for several sessions where a big part of each session for probably 4 or 5 sessions in a row was crafting how she could financially afford to move to another country to live out the rest of her life. She had financial accounts and retirement accounts and different stuff, but she hadn't worked in 20 years because she got an inheritance, blah, 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 no relationships at all. Then after about the 5th session, she comes in, we're trying to talk about getting her to move. Could not believe what she said. I mean, and it's hard to shock me. But this I almost fell on the floor. I said, okay, so we're getting you closer and closer. I think, what do you think? Maybe by the end of the year, in the next couple of months, we can get you packed up and moving to your dream country. She goes, I can't move out of the country. I have doctor's appointments here. I was, for one of the first times in my life, I was speechless. I didn't have a prepared answer for that. It took me a moment, like, okay. Well, chances are they have doctors in that other country too. It's not a third world country. It's an industrialized country. Chances are they probably have better doctors and better medical care there than you do here. So I don't understand how that would be. Well, I'm just not doing that. She actually started acting like I'm trying to force her to move out of the country, even though she's the one who brought it up and talked about it every time. So we see now she's trying to protect the only thing that she knows. This is a subconscious driver. The subconscious loves what's familiar. So whatever's most familiar is going to be the most emotionally comfortable. What is she familiar with? Sitting around her apartment for almost 30 years by herself, no friends, no family, no job, because she's living off an inheritance. Okay, now we're going to jeopardize that by taking her out of this apartment that she lived in for 30 years and make her move to another country on the other side of the planet. That was way too uncomfortable, way too unfamiliar, and there was no way she was going to do that. Well, if that's going to make you happy, you're convinced that's going to make you happy, why not do it? Why not give it a try? But she was so steeped in herself. So what happens again when it comes to people who are lonely, they don't like outside opinion. They can't handle conversations with other people because they don't have them. Mm-hmm. The more conversations you have with other people, you can get along with people better and see, oh, well, they have a perspective. Hey, that's great. These people, sadly, they shut down any outside information because it's not their own, and it just really is bothersome. So that is one of the saddest things that I see come in the office is people who are older and isolated.
Yeah, because it's at that point you've conditioned yourself to have an unwillingness to change. There's no need to feel something like courage, motivation, certainty, any of that. And you need all of that to switch countries. And sadly, like she's saying, like the only thing that really was rooting her here was doctors. Chances are whatever was ailing her would lessen if she was in a better state of mind in that other country. But you need courage, motivation, certainty, purpose, meaning, drive, all of these things to even get there. Again, the idea of balance. You can't expect somebody who's been living a certain way for so long to make a decision that's actually beneficial for them because their brain can no longer recognize what that looks like. And this is stuff that's hard and basic for an individual who does have a normal life with, people in it and things like that. Most people aren't willing to get up and move, even if it could be the best thing for them. So expecting that of somebody who has just so little connection to the outside world it's impossible at that point.
Mm-hmm. That was amazing. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, lesson here, don't allow yourself to become isolated. It's not good for you. It's very unhealthy.
And we've not met one person yet that actually felt happy about doing so. And they, as much as we want to help them, there's only so much you can do.
Mm-hmm. I've never known someone who lives by themselves for an extended period of time, who lacks productivity, who lacks relationships, who is even forget about happy, joy. Nope. They're barely living from day to day. That's it.
And to be clear once more, if you walk into our office, it is not sunshine, rainbows, and cakewalks. If you want to see change, you got to hear a lot of stuff you don't want to hear. And you got to put it into action. So as much as you'll be praised for your accomplishments, you're going to be told how you need to change. And there's going to be, oomph behind that. So this is really a specific place for people who are willing and ready to make a change and willing to listen and share. It takes a lot to be the right person to be here, and that's why we do the discovery calls and the free consults, because we really, really, really want to make sure that the right people are in our office taking up the time that we have. We haven't even made a video in 2 months. We've been a month without videos because we're so busy with people that are ready to make that change.
Well, in alignment with all that you were just describing about what it takes to make change, and it's not going to be all warm and fluffy all the time in our office, I have a saying that I've been using for years, and it fits that exactly. When I have people in the office and I'm trying to prepare them for the emotional roller coaster we're going to go through, is I tell them, I'm on our way to the promised land. I have to walk you by the gates of hell first. So that way you're going to get face to face with all your demons, and then we're going to be on our way to where we really want to be.
Yeah. I mean, another great video, another great topic. I think the things that we're talking about really dive a lot deeper than you hear a lot of people discuss, even in, like the mental health space or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I think these are really beneficial conversations. And sadly, this is one of those videos where you kind of have to catch it before you get there.
True. Yeah, it's very true.
If you feel yourself self-isolating, seek any form of help. It does not need to be alternative therapy like us. It doesn't need to be specifically a life coach. Just try any avenue to kind of walk yourself out of where you're headed.
Exactly. Good. All good stuff. One more thing I wanted to add to that. One thing that I recommend to everyone that is isolated in this way, if you don't need a job or want a job, well, then you know what? You can still do volunteer work. There are thousands of nonprofits that seek volunteers all the time from a variety of different things. And you can set your own hours because it's volunteer. Mm-hmm. But at least now you're becoming part of something which makes you, and doing something which makes you feel productive, and part of something which gives you a relationship. And sadly, less than 1% of the people that in that situation, I suggest to them that this is what I would really suggest you do. Don't do it. 99% do not do it. 1% or less are going to actually do it. So it's really sad that they're not even using all of this free time. You want to know who's doing volunteer work? The busy people. Mm-hmm. When I was a general contractor, my wife and I were raising two kids, and my wife worked full time. We used to do lots and lots of charity work. We'd take the whole family. She's 3, 4, 5 years old, helping out with volunteer work, because we were so busy with our lives. We were able to add in doing volunteer work. But when you don't have anything going on, it's really, really hard to figure out to do volunteer work. It's just the way the mind works. The less we do, the less we're going to do. The more we do, the more we're capable of doing.
That makes sense, because I was an IB diploma student, which is a very hard set of courses to take in high school. I was volunteering at the Humane Society once a week with my mom. We were fostering cats. I was clocking over 300 hours of volunteer work a year. I was managing school plays. I was managing sports teams. I was editing the yearbook. you'll make time where you need to make time. That's simple. That's a lot of things that a lot of people can't say in the same set of 2 years, because the IB program's only 2 years long. I did all that. And when I finally was given free time that first summer, what did I do?
Open a business.
While working for him during the days. So just maximize it. Get there before the chance is gone, before you literally lost any ability to have motivation. I still foster cats and find things to do. So it really is. It's just anything that can give you some sense of purpose or make you feel good. Do it. Try it.
Get your butt off the couch.
Yep. Well, there's another video for that.
Right. Well, thank you very much for that. That was a really good one.
Yeah, these conversations have been pretty good today, so I'm excited for everyone to see what we're coming out with shortly.
Well, real good. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, anything. These videos can really only help you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.